Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about the big news coming out of Georgia, and it is big news, and it has wide ranging implications. So, we are going to go over the news, and then we're going to talk about what the most important takeaway from the news is, because it's something that is probably going to be overlooked, and it is something that needs to be remembered. Okay, if you have no idea what I am talking about, in Georgia, the special purpose grand jury, that report was released. This is the investigation that then led to the grand jury, which actually indicted people. This was the one that would recommend indictments. It recommended indicting, listed out 39 names. 19 were eventually charged, and one of those wasn't even on the original list. High-profile names that were on the special purpose grand jury list included Senator Lindsey Graham, former Senators Perdue and Loeffler, Mike Flynn, and Wood as well. 19 out of 39. The obvious question is why? Why wasn't everybody charged? The answer is simple. It could be any number of things. It could be they didn't feel they had enough evidence. The DA did not believe that she had the evidence to move forward on everybody. Maybe she believed that some of them were covered by speech and debate, by the speech and debate clause in the Constitution, or that might be just too hard to overcome, so she didn't charge them. Maybe there's an agreement for some of these people that we don't know about. Remember, we don't know everything. Maybe she didn't want to step on anybody else's toes. If there was, let's say, another case going on that might be looking into some of these people. Those are all possibilities. Maybe she just didn't believe they were actually guilty. Maybe she didn't believe they had intent. Whole bunch of things. But all of them demonstrate one thing very, very clearly. It's not a witch hunt. The special purpose grand jury had a list of 39 people, but only 19 were on that final list. It shows very clearly the DA in Georgia is trying to follow the law. She didn't believe she had enough evidence to make the case. Then she's not supposed to prosecute. So that's the right move. She believed that speech and debate covered it, abiding by the law and the Constitution. Even if, for most people, they would believe the conduct that was described by some of them was far outside what speech and debate was supposed to cover. The agreement idea, well, that would mean that they worked out some kind of deal to provide evidence about a crime, right? Or not stepping on somebody else's toes, a different investigation. Or she just didn't believe she had the evidence. All of this shows it's not a witch hunt. It's not political. That's what it shows, undoubtedly. Because if it was a witch hunt, if it was political, if it was her trying to elevate her status for her own ambitions, sure, the president's good, but have you ever tried getting senators too? Anytime that comes up now, this needs to be the talking point. It's not a witch hunt. That's confirmed by this, because they didn't pursue it in that manner. People that were on the list, they weren't pursued. Or maybe they were pursued, but the grand jury functioned as it should and chose not to indict. It doesn't matter how you read this. It doesn't matter why you believe they weren't indicted, it proves, it demonstrates very clearly that this is not a witch hunt, that they are going off the evidence and the law. It's really that simple. That needs to be the takeaway from this. I know there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be like, well, why didn't they indict? They should have been. And that's fine. There are definitely some names on that list that I look at and I'm like, yeah, I think the evidence exists, but maybe we don't know everything. What this shows is that she went with what she believed she could convict on. That's her job. There is nothing that demonstrates she is doing her job the way it is supposed to be done ethically more than this. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.